My coworker feels nothing, but he walked into HR last minute and saved my job during cuts. People at work ask why I'm friends with Jake when he says he doesn't feel empathy. We work customer support at a tech company, taking angry calls all day. Jake treats every complaint like a puzzle, and that calm has saved my career more than once. Last week, a woman called screaming that her photos were deleted. My stomach dropped. Jake rolled over, took my headset, and said, "When did you last see them?" She snapped, "Yesterday!" He clicked once and said, "Your cloud plan expired yesterday. The files are still there, you just can't access them." He walked her through renewing it. In 2 minutes, she went from yelling to thanking him. Afterward, I asked how he didn't get stressed. Jake shrugged. Anger isn't the real problem. It's fear dressed up. Fear is easier to fix. He said it flat and calm. He doesn't get emotionally dragged around like the rest of us. He doesn't take it personally because he can't. I noticed it in training. Our supervisor showed a video of a customer throwing a laptop at an employee. Everyone winced. Jake tilted his head and said, "Bad service. That guy probably waited forever." The trainer asked if he felt bad. Jake said, "Why? Nobody's hurt. Now the company knows the process is broken." Later he told me he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder in college. "I'm not impulsive," he said. "I just don't feel things the way you do." 2 months in, he saved my job the first time. One caller rang daily about billing errors that weren't errors. He'd yell until my voice shook. One afternoon I started breathing too fast and couldn't speak. Jake leaned over and said, "Put him on hold. Give me the call." 5 minutes later, Jake hung up and said, "He won't call back." I asked what he said. Jake said, "I told him his wife probably handles the bills, and these calls make him feel important." Then I suggested he volunteer somewhere if he needs a purpose. The guy never called again. The second time was when we got a new manager who micromanaged everything. She hovered, timed calls, and sent emails about improvement. I started making tiny mistakes because I was so tense. One day, she corrected me mid-call while the customer listened. My face went hot. Jake walked into her office. Through the cracked door, I heard him say, "You're managing from fear because you're new. The team did better before. Your methods aren't working." She snapped, "That's rude." Jake said, "Rude would be letting you fail because I didn't want to hurt your feelings." 2 weeks later, she backed off and stopped hovering. Then came my performance review. My manager had a printed list and started reading my mistakes. Too many escalations, too many repeat callers, too many complaints. She said, "We need to talk about whether you're a good fit here." Each line hit me hard. My eyes stung and my throat tightened. There was a knock. Jake opened the door and said, "Sorry, I need to show you something." He plugged in his laptop and pulled up my numbers. Highest customer satisfaction on the team. Strong resolution rate. My manager said she'd been tracking complaint calls. Jake said, "Hard customers call more. That doesn't mean they're unhappy at the end." He clicked through a few saved outcomes with dates. He had screenshots going back months with notes like, "Turned refund into upgrade." My manager's jaw tightened. "Why didn't you bring this up sooner?" she asked me. I opened my mouth and had nothing. Jake said, "Because you never asked for outcomes, only complaints." She said, "I was considering a performance plan." Jake said, "Then consider the data instead." My manager went quiet, then set her paper down. "Okay," she said, "I need to redo this review." The meeting ended with her saying she'd update my evaluation. Outside, I asked Jake why he did it. He said, "You're useful to keep around. Good teammates make my job easier." A few weeks later, rumors about layoffs hit. I wasn't sleeping. Jake saw the invite titled Company Update and said, "If they cut people, they'll cut low value. Your stats protect you." I reminded him my manager almost failed me. Jake said, "Then we don't rely on her memory." The morning of the meeting, HR pulled me into a room with my manager. There was an envelope on the table. HR started reading a script about restructuring. I could barely hear it over my heartbeat. Then the door opened and Jake walked in with a folder. He set it down and said, "Before you decide, look at this." HR tried to stop him. Jake slid the pages across anyway. My satisfaction score, my resolution rate, and a list of customers who emailed praise after ugly calls. He pointed at the totals and said, "This is work saved. If you cut him, you increase churn and load on everyone left." My manager looked stuck. HR stared at the numbers, then slowly pushed the envelope away from me. She said, "Okay, you're staying. Both of you are staying." My shoulders dropped and Jake just nodded once. Now my coworkers are saying I'm crazy for trusting Jake. Was I wrong?